This podcast is sponsored by our SA Rock and Metal fans Facebook page.
Strap yourself in, because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Good evening, fellas.
Hello.
Good evening. How's everybody doing?
Not too bad, yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Well, there's some heavy vocals, that is. Right, so Burning the Padre. How's everybody, man? Is everybody alright? Everybody surviving this fucking COVID shit?
Just about.
As well as you can.
Thanks for having us on.
Oh, it's an absolute pleasure, man. Pleasure's all mine. At least you guys can get booze, right? We can't get a fucking drop in this place.
Oh, mate. Surrounded by it in England.
Sense on
I
this
don't think I've stopped drinking since March last year, to be fair.
Oh, you see now, there's always one bright spark, isn't there? Fucking, why would you? Well, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. Well done to you, man. Well done to you. I think I managed 16 weeks once, and it was actually probably, it wasn't so bad. I have to admit, 16 weeks was enough. So,
Yeah, true. You're right.
You chose the year to do it, though. Of all the years to stop drinking.
This is the year that you need it the most. Bloody hell. Okay, so we got Sean, who does the guitars, Richard on the bass, and Leigh on the guitars as well. Right from the band. We're waiting for Tom. Tom is the drummer, is that right?
Well, Tom's the vocalist, and then Josh is the
Okay, right. Tom's on the vocals.
Cool.
There's Tom.
There we go. He's connecting his audio. I'm always intrigued to hear what the speaking voice is like compared to the singing voice. Really interesting.
Very, very different.
I've spoken to someone, they speak like this. It's like, what the fuck just happened? Tom, how's it going? Oh, he's muted himself. You hear the kids in the background. I'm a family man. Hey, Tom.
Hey, how you doing, man? You alright?
You see what I mean by the speaking voice? It's completely different to the singing voice. It's fucking frightening.
Mate. I don't know what to say to that. Is this a compliment or or not? Well, thanks.
It's a compliment, but I want to find out how do you sing like that? I mean, what is your routine to get your voice like that in live shows and recording sessions and stuff?
Because I don't know. I just really got into like extreme metal, and I just always wanted to sound disgusting, I guess. That was it, really. That was it. Just growing up and getting into like punk bands and stuff like that, and then slowly getting into like metal, like bands like Slipknot, and then like diving deeper and deeper into like the scenes, and then getting into like death metal and grindcore and deathcore and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, aren't you like? Okay, obviously you must have some sort of like warm up routine and all that sort of shit.
Alcohol. Alcohol, really.
Wow.
I'm not like a couple of trying to do that stuff
right.
before I go on, and lots of alcohol. Yeah, that's basically it. Man, beer and.
If that's the process to get into Burning the Padre, I should be in there somewhere as well. Fucking hell.
Mate, you gotta love a drink.
Josh, how's it going? Josh, you joined. How's it going, man? All right,
Nope.
Josh, are you
Hello?
there, man?
I've done it. Roundabouts, are you?
How's it going, man? Hey, Josh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there you go, man. How you doing?
I'm alright, thank you. How are you?
All right, sweet, man. So let's talk about how this band came to be, because you're a fairly young band in terms of the years that you've done. So how did this all come about?
So,
It's mainly Sean and Tom. I've had this band going since probably like 2013, was it, guys?
yeah. We started off, we wrote a couple
Yeah.
of songs, but then like we kind of drifted. because obviously life, like that was the start of a life, adult life, and so we kind of just drifted. But it came to 2018, and I just left my previous band, but I really missed playing music, so I gave Tom a message. I was like, "Hey, let's get this back in the go." And literally, like within like 2 weeks or so of having a chat on where we wanted to go, we started writing music. Literally about 2-3 weeks after that, we got Leigh to come along to give us a writing. And then by December, we had our first track written and ready to release. So
Nice.
It really sped up as soon as I joined, I think.
Not bragging or
That's
anything.
not me trying to blag, by the way.
Okay, let's dive straight into the influences. Okay, Richard, you first. Go for it.
I mean, anything with breakdowns and blast beats, to be honest. No, you put me on the spot now. To be fair, like I really dig anything that's just sounds like really heavy or evil. So like I really vibe off Black Tongue at the moment for like kind of influence that really influences that kind of low, really deep, low tuned, doom laden kind of metal sound. Anything that's got that kind of vibe. I'm also into mega bands like Lorna Shore and Signed to the Swarms because I think they're just absolute filth. The heavier it is and the more discordant and disgustingly low it is, the better.
I was just going to say the heavier it is, the better it is. Go on, Leigh. You're up, man. Leigh.
I don't know if you heard you.
Oh, there you go.
He's having a
In all
non-alcoholic
honesty,
drink.
I've probably got the least heaviest influences out of probably the rest of the band. I'm more sort of like into more groove-ish style riffs and stuff. So I really like Periphery, for example.
Right.
Band I used to listen to mainly like hard rock growing up. I think it did come to more like heavy stuff going forward. Like when I was writing for this EP, Chelsea Grin, I found were a very big influence to me.
Okay.
There's also Vale and Maya. That's why I like writing so many like dissonant chords and stuff like that.
It's interesting that the two guitarists have such a varied sort of taste in music.
Yeah,
I think that's the
together in a sense because like it's. I think if you're both writing in the same sort of narrow lane, it's hard to like find stuff that works. Whereas if you bring different people from different influences, then there's always something new that can be brought to the table, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, what's your influence, man?
Oh man, everything.
That was a fucking easy answer. Damn. You're gonna have to come up with some other clever questions now.
Like I'm a mixture between how Richard is and how Leigh is. So I love my groovy stuff, so I love my stuff like Periphery and all that, North Lane and all that. So I like the grooves.
Right.
But I've always had a soft spot for deathcore. I've always liked Blind Smoke, Chelsea Green, and stuff like that. And I love like the more underground stuff. So like there's a band called The Moralists. I love their sound and I love how they write, and I try and incorporate that sound with my own writing. But what's really good is that, especially like me and Leigh, when me and Leigh write together, we kind of can normally click onto what we're feeling because we have the very same influences. Like you said, one of his main ones is Vader Mayer. I love Vader Mayer. Like yeah.
I'll wait to see them again.
Yeah, man. Always a good band to see live. So.
Nice one, man. Tom, go on. Let's have it then.
My influences, especially for like this style of music, because like everyone, I like everything from like soul music to like early 90s hip hop. But for like extreme metal side, old Suicide Silence before like Mitch passed away. A band called Distant, Sign of the Swarm. A band you should know called oh my god, I totally forgot the name as well. Oh shit!
You gotta know him that much that you can't remember the fucking name.
Volvadinia.
Volvadinia. Yeah, South African.
Mate, they are just disgusting. I love them. No, they are amazing. Oh god, who else? A band called Cranium is a massive influence on me now. Kind of getting into that kind of like what Sean said, the whole kind of underground side of the metal scene. I've really got into. I'm a lot of the stuff that I got me into it was the very like 2007, 2008 like deathcore scene.
Right.
So yeah, a lot of like Suicide Silence, Job for a Cowboy, Chelsea Green, and Whitechapel. Oh God, See You Next Tuesday, As Hell Follows. like a load of stuff, Cannibal Corpse, Dying Fetus.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Who haven't I asked? Josh, you're hiding in the back there.
Hello.
He likes he likes Spice Girls. Take that.
Mariah Carey.
Taylor
obviously.
Swift.
Bit of Maroon 5 here and there.
Oh, that's it. I'm leaving.
It's only going to get worse, man.
Good. That's the way I like it.
Spice Girls was okay, but Maroon 5 just took it over the edge.
Nail in the coffin.
That's when he really started doing blast beats, that is.
All right, Josh, go on, man.
Oh, I'm pretty sound. I think I was like a sore thumb because I listen to mainly hardcore. I was a hardcore drummer before I joined this band, and I like more of the punk side of stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love some deathcore. I grew up a lot with Whitechapel and Chelsea Green, but I've always had a soft spot for more beat down hardcore stuff, and even hinting like pop punky almost because it's fun.
Right. So, with all of that said now, and all the different influences and genres, if you had to describe the sound of Burning the Padre to a first-time listener, what would you say to them?
I'd like to say it's just an extreme aggression, really. We don't really allow a lot of time for someone to think about how heavy it is. We just sort of dive straight in.
We
Get ready to punch your friend in the face, I think, really.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we want to do. We kind of want to bring, we're not into violence, but when you're at a show, we want, you got to let loose sometimes. And if someone gets smashed in the face with a table, it's kind of like the added icing on the cake, you know what I mean?
I want to talk about Oxygen Thief, man. It's definitely one of my favorites. That and Spineless Lech. But Oxygen Thief, I know plenty of Oxygen Thieves I'd like to snuff out. But anyway, how did that song come about? Because that's fucking brutal.
So,
I think more than
so like how Oxygen Thief started is when me and Tom started writing music, we was like, what we're gonna write it about. So the guitars, the guitar parts that I wrote before Leigh joined is like a little story of what happened to me and just like over the course of that year, a lot of stuff happened. So like this is just my little story. But then Tom obviously had his own little thing that he wanted to do, so he wrote his story and his lyrics on the track. Right. And when Leigh's Racing came. And we was able to stick that song together, it created something that we felt was very personal to us, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
At the same time, we didn't want it to be completely serious, so we managed to sort of snip a track from a certain show from a certain website called Fake Taxi. We used the audio on there because
why not?
We're talking, if anybody's like listening to this podcast, and God help you, the EP is Misanthropy, and it's out on digital platforms everywhere, and everything will be in the description below, all the links, so that you can click on it and go give it a listen, all that sort of stuff. But I heard that there's new stuff being written.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we've over the time of the pandemic, we've just sat back and we've said, right, let's get some new stuff written, something completely different but the same as we're writing that we previously wrote. And some of the stuff that we've wrote is gonna blow your absolute socks off.
Right. Okay.
Can't really reveal too much because it's still sort of getting there, if you know what I mean. It's been quite difficult during this pandemic to get together and write, especially with Sean being at a completely different part of the country as well. So we've we've had to start doing like online writing sessions somehow.
Wow.
But with that in mind, we're still there. We're still ready. We've still got things planned.
I mean,
It's
that
just-
ties in perfectly with my next question is how have you been doing it? Not necessarily this recording of a new album, or new stuff, or EP, or whatever it is, but also keeping practice fit and stage fit and all that sort of stuff, if there's even such a thing in grindcore.
Well, at the moment, like the problem that we have is, like Lee said, it's because I live in another part of the country, especially the UK being back into another lockdown. It's very hard for us to get together and practice together. But we've came around that, and like I said, we're trying somewhat to do writing sessions online and stuff together, get something recorded.
Yeah.
With the pandemic about, it's not been easy to get stuff. What's the word that I'm looking for? Like, it's not been easy for us to get together and practice and stuff. So
Yeah.
we may have lost a bit of time together, but I think because of like how we all coordinate together, I shouldn't think it'd be too long before we're back up and ready by the time gigs come around again.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest thing with the pandemic is when you can practice, you kind of, and the new songs, like you're brewing up a new song, everyone vibes together and you kind of all get the feeling at the same time, but it's when it's passed over like an audio file, it's not, you don't really get that kind of same reaction, it's, if you know what I mean. So it is hard, but we're kind of like, I think the best thing about us is because we're all like really close mates and we all kind of, we've had this time now to kind of write new stuff and just practice our hardest, make our craft as best that we can, you know, and like we're trying to make it, you know, as different as the EP, but keep to the same feel, but just make it like more extreme, just something new for, you know, the scene. That's what we want to push for, kind of.
How do you stand out from everybody else that's doing the same sort of genre?
We kind of, for us, we're pretty different because.
The best way to put it, we're probably a little bit of like a clusterfuck of different genres.
Yeah. I think, yeah.
Like the gent movement, if you know that, and then so we got the low tuning, we got the gated guitars, and then we've got like the vocals that were from like the old deathcore days. We've got blast beats and riffs from like slam.
I think you might have your album title right there, man. Clusterfuck.
Yeah.
Clusterfuck of genres are coming.
Yeah, I mean, the clusterfuck could relate to anything in the UK right now with that that muppet that's running the country. Jesus, don't get me started.
Don't get us started, man.
Don't even go on about it, man. It kills me inside. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
Talk of oxygen thieves. Fucking hell, there's another one. So I mean, that's kind of cool that you've got to sort of define your own sound and break through what I guess a lot of people might look at metalcore or grindcore as just like a fucking barrage of noise and you can't make out anything and it's so fucking heavy. But the purist can, an audio, like we said earlier, an audiophile can hear the music and everything like that. I mean, I can, so I'm don't know fuck about those other people, but it's interesting that you got to try and sort of branch out a little bit differently to what everybody else is doing. And to stay current is not easy.
No, it's not, and I think the thing is, like, because we have, you know, we've got like the genty side and we've got like all different sides to the music. It's kind of, it's refreshing for us because if there's like 10 bands and they all sound the same, no one who's going to care about them, like us, if we just kind of molding, you know what I mean? You've got to do something that's a bit kind of, you know, different, and we took the deathcore label because, you know, we like the blast beats and the heavy riffs, and it just goes with the vocals, but we're kind of more than that. We're trying to mix it all in together, just together.
What we try and do is like try and take all of it, like who inspires like all the songs that we like, and then we incorporate it into, like you said, this big clusterfuck.
Yeah.
But it's created a unique sound for us, and this is what I think like takes us apart from the other bands that we usually play with, is that we have twists and turns in the song where you don't expect it to for that riff to be there.
It's quite a young genre as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we also try and incorporate more like of a horror feel as well, like in the song "Desecration of a Holy Icon."
Yeah.
Towards the end, we've got what would you probably normally hear out of a horror film, and I think going forward, we'd probably also like to implement a bit more of that going forward to make it stand out a bit more.
What is the end goal here, guys? I mean, you know, you're not exactly going to get on radio, you know, unless it's online radio. So what is it to sign with a big label and all that sort of shit, or is it just to keep pushing and keep reinventing yourselves and the sound and being the forefront of everybody else?
Wembley Stadium, that's it.
Wembley Stadium, 80,000 people. That'll be great.
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, we're all just a bunch of mates that just like all see the same hobby of playing music together more than anything. So I mean, we all do it for the fun of it more than anything. I mean, anything that comes out of it's a bonus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think especially in this day and age now, with how the music industry is, to want anything more than that is a bit is stupid. You've got there's thousands of bands out there, and everyone's, you know, everyone wants to be the rock star when they're a kid, but you've got to be very, very lucky and very, very talented to kind of be spotted, and you just got to do it for the fun. You got to do it for the love of the craft that you do, and you know, if one person likes you, then if one person thinks, oh my god, this band is absolutely sick, and then you've done your job, haven't you? It's not about selling out stadiums. It's about doing it because it's your passion, and you know, you love it, not to get any recognition from it.
Yeah.
We also, well, for me at least, I get a big gratification from just bringing music out there that just people enjoy.
Yeah.
It's just, we want to get our feelings out there, and other people, hopefully, if they feel the same way we do, can just
absolutely. Let's give a shout out. Sorry, Sean. I just need to give a shout out to Matt at Unearthed Music for hooking us up to have this chat as well, man. I wouldn't have heard you guys otherwise. So shout out
love
to
you,
Matt.
Yeah, love you, Matt.
Go, Matt.
Man, I'm actually gonna actually chatted to him about a couple of minutes before we had this podcast, and I'm gonna have a podcast with him and pick his brain as well. So that'll be kind of interesting as well.
Go for it, man. He's a good lad.
He's a good.
He's done a lot, man. He's done a lot for us.
Yeah, he's a good. If you think we like extreme music, you should listen to him. He's got his kid listening to some really disgusting bands. It's amazing.
Disgusting, man. That's obviously what is this? A West Midlands sane thing? A disgusting band. It's fucking good.
I think it's just a compliment in the metal scene.
Yeah.
It's like sick.
You know,
listening to music, the more you feel better about it, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, so go on.
No, carry on.
I was going to say 2021 plans is pretty much up in the air as it stands right now in the UK.
Yeah.
They're a bit all over the place.
Left, right, and centre since probably about March. Was it? Yeah, we had a gig planned like on the day lockdown happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, since then we've just had gigs cancelling left, right, and centre, and
I see Glastonbury's just cancelled.
Yeah, Glastonbury's just been cancelled. I mean, like, hopefully, like we're looking to get back into gigs in the summertime. Fingers crossed.
I hear a lot of artists talking about they prefer to play really intimate gigs as opposed to playing like 5,000, 10,000 seaters. Wow.
There is something to be said for having a gig that's so small where you can literally get the sweat from the people in front of you thrown onto your face. There is an appeal about it. Like it is intimate. It's you're not separated by a barrier between you and the crowd. I mean, if you just stood in the crowd as well, it's another level. But it's intense, and that adrenaline rush is so much more because you're not just feeding off an energy of a crowd that are like 3 foot in front of you and 3 meters in front of you, and behind the barrier where it's all a bit more restrained. If you're in the thick of it, like you've got the luxury of playing a gig while being involved in it as well. You're just as much a part of the crowd as you are the band playing for them.
Yeah. I was going to say the most unnerving part of all of this is that the drummer is the quietest one. That's fucking unusual, that is, man.
He's the actual serial murderer out of all of us, so
the first time we met him, we were quite iffy, but he's kind of stuck around. So and as well, we fear for our family's safety if we get rid of him. So
I always say it's the quiet ones you got to be careful of.
We kind of just feed him and put him back in the cupboard when we were doing it.
You make him sound like a gimp.
Maybe
he's in a wheelchair drooling right now. Josh, are you still alive, man?
Hello.
Man, a few words, man.
His girlfriend's watching him, making sure he doesn't say anything stupid.
Too fucking late. Let's have a bit of fun, right? Okay, so I'm gonna go from left to right. So Richard, you're up, man. Prepare yourself. Don't shit.
Oh God.
Okay, your favorite drink? Go.
Whiskey.
Nice, good man. Sean.
Easy.
Sean, what's
my favorite drink? Piss.
Fuck it, there's always one.
It's always one.
Stella.
Oh, wife beater juice. Okay, right. Okay, Lee.
My favourite drink is Jack Daniels.
Oh, there you go. I'm having a Jack right now. Good man, Josh. No, honestly. Did he just say no? He's fucking not right. I'm telling you guys. You better watch your back, man. Okay, Josh. What's your favorite drink, man?
Probably just Coke. I don't really drink.
Oh God. Okay, he doesn't drink.
It's his hardcore background. He's straight edge.
Yeah, I'm straight edge as fuck. No.
And he can't afford to buy alcohol.
That's why he doesn't drink.
I can say Tom's for him right now.
Go on. What's probably signed or something like that? Carlin.
Yeah, Carlin. Yeah.
Every time you see him with a tin of Carlin.
You can see who's making the money. Those are the ones that drink Jack Daniels.
If you think anyone in this band is making money, man, you got another thing coming.
Yeah. No, he's probably Lee's probably the only one making money because he's the only one with a good job.
And that's fucking surprising, man. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I mean it like in this day and age where jobs are fucking scarce. Hold on to that thing, man. So let's have a story about the funniest shit that's happened on tour or at a gig.
Oh God, we've got to think now.
This could take a whole half an hour. Different podcast altogether.
Probably the one that I can remember most is probably our first show. We played with one of our, or like literally with all of the like imitations of an autopsy. Like we all love them. They were playing one of their famous songs, which is Sludge City.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we want the crowd to come and play this song." And like Richard was standing next to me, and I was like, "Go on." And he was like, "Nah." So I literally just go onto the stage. I was just like, "Yeah, go play this, come on." And he like, "Yeah." So you get to play with our favourite band. That was a good moment.
Right.
Oh God, I'm trying to think of.
I filmed it.
I'm trying to think of the weirdest crap that's ever happened. Oh
There was
God.
a really good guy in Wolverhampton who wanted to play the Dead Kennedys, just repeatedly yelling, "Play the Dead Kennedys."
Yeah. That's not that. I was playing with an old. Oh God, I was playing with
man.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I think my funniest one is we were playing at I think it was our second gig actually. It was in Birmingham. We were in just like a small underground like venue in a pub. It wasn't a big show or anything. I think it was one actually Sean hosted that we decided to play the opening for. Watching there was a mosh pit towards the end. Like, we just watched this one guy just get absolutely flung right into like the floor monitor on the stage. That was,
Oh yeah.
he thought it was all like, oh look at me, I'm doing great, and the next thing you know, head first.
Oh.
I know that was at we when we played with annotations. There was a guy and he was head banging, but he was like he had really long hair and he was swinging it around, and this chap's boyfriend like grabbed him around the neck and like slammed him to the floor.
Oh God, yeah.
That was quite intense.
Oh, brutal. This is why I'm nearly 50 years old and I don't go to fucking brutal shows, man. Jesus.
Yeah,
just want to listen to this EP and my knees are already going, it's not going to happen, pal. Okay, no, Jesus. Okay, so we're fast running out of time, man. So just really quickly, Sean, what is your rig rundown?
A guitar.
Piss and a guitar. That's all he needs, folks. Want to get the band out there? That's it.
At the moment, I'm currently using for the current EP that is out a Shit to C7, which is absolutely crap and I hate it. I'm using a power stack pedal, a noise gate, and a tuner, and I use an EMG.
Okay. Rich.
Man, you're talking to the guy who's probably like spent the longest playing his instrument, but uses the cheapest gear. So I've got an Ibanez 5-string SR 375, which I'm literally just running straight through just a few pedals. Like I use a volume tuner and a boss bass distortion. I don't really use a lot of effects at all because I play death metal. Like, I don't need to use anything.
You don't need effects, man. You fucking.
And like 9 times out of 10, I'm just going straight DI into the sound system. Bass wasn't my first instrument when I joined this band. Like I play guitar mainly, but I jumped into bass for this band. It's the first band I've played bass in ever. So I'm still getting to grips with kind of like developing my tone and my kind of like signature style of playing bass. But I'm getting there. And Sean, as someone who's played bass before, like he's really helpful with all of that.
Ah, okay.
I'm hoping to kind of upgrade my rig and get myself a little bass head this year if I'm actually have money to spend. Yeah, right now it's just a 5-string Ibanez going straight through some pedals into a DI box.
Great. Lee, what's your rig rundown, man?
Here we go.
Here we go. The list begins.
At the moment, I'm rocking a PRS SE Custom 7-string. It's like an anniversary edition, so it's like a lovely little red colour. I'm currently using a Line 6 Helix amp modeler to just replicating at the moment the PV 6150. 6165, sorry, what am I saying?
Right.
Anyway, there's that, and then other than that, I use a Digitech Whammy DT. So that's for all the pitch shift effects you hear in the EP, where it's like.
I just does that with tinnitus, yeah.
Yeah. So that's all I'm rocking at the moment. Although I have got a Legato 8-string that's going to be used in future stuff.
Oh, jeez, 8-string. How many fingers have you got?
You only need the first 2 strings.
To be fair, we're only going to be using the low string, so it's fine. Flat tongue style.
Josh, Earth to Josh. What kit are you playing on, man?
Well, I tend to use house kits because I have a Pearl Export 2015, but it's knackered, so I tend to use house kits. So
right.
I use cymbals wise quite a lot. I have a Stag hammered China, which is 16-inch. And the rest I use is Istanbul output, which would be a Power Crash and a Burning Crash. I use Power Hi-Hats 14 and what's it here? Another China.
Nice. You can't have enough Chinas, man. Or cowbell. You need some cowbell in that deathcore game, man.
Oh no, cable will be sick actually. To be
That'll
fair,
fuck people up.
I do have one somewhere. I don't know where I put it.
Really? Cowbell would be sick.
Our own individual cowbells to just play at random intervals. To be fair. That's how it's been going forward.
Can you imagine the people in the audience? What the fuck is going on here?
I was in the middle of a bar, just like ding.
No, but every time you hit it, everyone thinks that Rage Against the Machines is going to start playing, and he just throws it off to it.
Well, fellas, we're running out of time now, so I just want to take the time to again thank Matt from Unearthed Music and I'm loving the EP, the 2019 EP, Burning the not Burning the Padre. It's a fucking band. God damn it. I just fucking give up already. Misanthropy, great fucking EP, dudes. It's brutal.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, cheers, man. Thank you. Thank you for
Absolute
this.
pleasure, man. And Oxygen Thief is going to be on my Talk to Trev playlist on Spotify, so that's definitely going to be in there. So Tom, Sean, Richard, Lee, and Josh every now and then. Thank you so much for taking the time out to chat to me. When the new stuff is ready to be released, let's do this again and talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
Thanks for
Awesome,
having us on.
lads. Keep well, keep safe.
Yeah, and you,
Thank you,
mate.
bro.
Alrighty,
Cheers,
guys.
dude.
Cheers, man.